lastly, Douglas, I want to touch on what we saw last week. Unhinged behaviour from Will Smith, but some good has come of it. It's given comics plenty of material to work with, including Bill Maher.
If you are so lucky in life as to have that be your medical problem, just say thanks, God. It's not life-threatening. You know, it's part of, for most people, 80% of men, 50% of women, it's part of aging. Aging is, trust me, I know, it's the degradation of the flesh. It happens to all of us. And, you know, just put on a fucking wig like everybody else at the Oscars if it bothers you so much.
And the Smiths can feel lucky that Ricky Gervais wasn't hosting the Oscars. He also had some choice words for Will and Jada. He said, I would have not made a joke about his wife's hair. I would have made a joke about her boyfriend. Oh, goodness me. It seems Jada is copying as much blame for Will's poor behaviour as Will.
I know. I thought that when the moment I saw the infamous incident, I thought, my word, what would Will Smith have done if Ricky Gervais had been presenting this year? I mean, you think what Ricky Gervais has said before, you know, to almost everybody in Hollywood by now. You know, remember what he said to Mel Gibson when he came on the stage a few years ago, you know, to Mel Gibson's face. It was an extraordinary thing that happened. And, I mean, there's been a lot of talk about it, but so there should be, because, you know, this was a wildly inappropriate incident. And I feel very strongly that it needs to be gone over carefully, because people need to realize what actually was going on. And what was going on was that Hollywood, that preaches to the rest of us mere mortals all the time about their own extraordinarily liberal, advanced nature. I mean, basically most actors, as they show when they pick up their awards, say the world would be so much better if you were all more like us actors in Hollywood. You know, basically that's the thing. You should be empathetic like us. You should be caring, and love is love like us. And then somebody
George Clooney pretty much said that a few years back, yes, didn't he? He basically said that in his speech. If only the rest of the world was as progressive as us.
Exactly. And then we see, of course, the reality, which is they're no better than the rest of us, and I think in many cases significantly worse. But they preach to us. Somebody gets up on stage and whacks a comedian for a mild joke, which, you know, if you can't take the sort of a joke in bad taste, you know, arguably, you know, you probably shouldn't be in the limelight. But you know, he goes up and does that. And then the Hollywood that's been telling us love is love and all this stuff, they all go and commiserate with the person who did the attack, not the person who was attacked, Chris Rock. And then they give a standing ovation to the man 15 minutes later who talks about the need, that his belief that he's going to be a vessel for love. And they all give him a standing ovation for this claptrap. You know, and really this shows the complete divorce between Hollywood and reality, the thing that happened right in front of their faces. It doesn't matter. They can brush it aside as long as it's one of their own. And all the time, nothing punctures the moral preening of Hollywood, even a punch in front of them that they then end up celebrating.
Well, you know, this lot gave a standing ovation to Roman Polanski, a convicted child rapist, and turned a blind eye to Harvey Weinstein's predatory antics, for decades, right again in front of their eyes. So the warped moral compass of Hollywood is a topic, again, we can discuss every week along with Biden's gaffes. Douglas Murray, thank you so much for your time today.
It's a great pleasure.